Yes, it's a separate TBR because I have no chill. Hi everyone, it's Jenny. Welcome back to my channel. I thought I would keep my non-fiction November TBR separate, but there are still some fiction books I want to read, of course, because it's me. So, I want to finish... said this so many times. I want to finish Grimm's Fairy Tales because look, I have that much left. But, you know, there's pictures. That isn't all writing. I read this quickly. I just need to finish this. I swear I've been reading this all year. At least since March. It's been a long time. March feels like years ago, doesn't it? Goodness. But it's just a book that I need to flip and finish. As well as How Green Was My Valley by Richard Llewellyn. There we go. Best Welsh accent. Sorry to a Welsh family out there. But I am precisely 1/4 of the way through. And I started this on holiday in Wales. In Brecon Beacons, which was a lovely holiday, by the way. I have a vlog that I filmed, but I don't know if it's actually going to be any good. I don't know if anyone will actually care, so I'm not sure if I should bother editing it. Would you like to see Wales? Let me know. Anyway, this is a book that I saved for that holiday, and then didn't actually read very much on holiday, and it was just much slower than I expected. Like, good writing, but it's about a Welsh mining community, it's a village, it's very slow, it's very much about him and his family and reflecting on life and that kind of thing. So there's a lot about their daily banalities, I suppose, and it really gives a sense of place, and it was nice to read a bit when I was in South Wales because it's set there, but it wasn't what I expected, and I think it just wasn't what I wanted at the time. But I put this down, that was August. That was the beginning of August. So I'd like to finish this, or at least get halfway or something, make some kind of progress, because that would be nice, because this is on my 20 classics that I want to read list that I'm not doing very well on, because I really didn't pick the right book, because I've read lots of classics this year, but obviously most of them have not been on the flipping list. Anyway, that's a rant you don't need right now. So, moving on for books I just generally want to read. Again, these have been mentioned many times. There are these 3 flipping mini moderns that I haven't read. I've read the other 47, I've not read these 3, and my TBR is still far too high. Like, I'm not even going to get anywhere near my target. That will be a separate video probably, you can get a different rant there. Wow, I'm really ranting today, I'm so sorry. Anyway, again, this is an easy way to get my TBR down by 3 books. So we have Create Dangerously by Albert Camus. Oh, 4 Russian short stories by Gazdanov and others, and The Distance of the Moon by Italo Calvino. So these are short story collections, and I think this, I presume, is non-fiction. We'll see. But they're what, 55 tiny pages. This needs to happen this month, for goodness sake, Jenny. And then other possibles, I have The Beginning of the World in the Middle of the Night by Jane Campbell, which is a short story collection, because I suddenly realised I have lots of short story collections. I bought a few recently, but yeah, I just don't read them very often. So this is one that I think, because it's kind of about creepy fairy tale retellings, that kind of thing, and just slightly creepy stories anyway, this would be a good time for you to read it, and I just really want to read it, and it's short, and I just feel like surely it's the kind of thing, again, like many things I keep saying, oh, you know, I can read a story and then read other things at the same time. So I'm hoping if I can get my currently reading amount down during October, then I won't feel so stressed about if you're actually doing that with this. If I can finish the flippin' fairy tales, then I can start another short story collection. I think that's what's been holding me back, is I've been reading one short story collection for months. I just don't read any for ages, and then I'll read 30 pages and then put it down again. So I'd like to start this. I got this for my birthday. I just want to read it. I love Jen. That's all I have to say about that. And then one that I did put on my October TBR, but then I heard that Simon Savage and Tom from Tom Reads Things are going to do a reading along of this in November for their book Hibernation week or weekend or week and a half, whatever it is. And then I thought, okay, well in that case I'll save it for that, because I also was never going to get to this in October with the other books I wanted to read. So this is a Victorian classic sensation novel, and I know there's a secret. I think I know what the secret is, but I don't know anything else. I'm not going to say, no spoilers, but I just want to read it. It's not too bad in length. It is 480 pages. Okay, actually, I took it back, it's long. It's on my longest books list as well, so that'd be nice to take another one of those off. I haven't read too many of those this year, but this will be on it. Woo, fly. Anyway, another book that I really want to read is Go Went Gone by Jenny Erpenbeck, who is a German author. Who is this translated by? I'm sure this is translated. It is translated by. Or maybe it isn't translated, it does not say. No, it is translated by Susan Bernofsky. There we go. That sounds a bit like a dessert, don't you think? No, just me. But this is about a retired university professor called Richard, who befriends people in an asylum seeking community from Africa, African asylum seekers, and how that makes him question his own, I suppose, sense of nationality, and it's about looking at the idea of privilege and race, and I really like characters who are older in books. I think there's not enough protagonists who are old, and I think it allows for more ruminations that are interesting and deeper reflections sometimes if they've lived a life, and then it can have space for him to have that need to find, I suppose, a sense of self and purpose, or just meaning, like what has his life been and what is his link to his country and that kind of thing. So again, really interested in refugees, and especially interested in asylum seekers in a European country. I don't think there are that many stories that I've read like that. It's normally about refugees in a camp or that kind of thing, but if it's about them in Germany, then that would be really interesting and different. And it's also the only book that I got for my birthday last year that I've not yet read. I've done pretty well reading the books that I bought last year. I have read most of them, but not this one. So I'd really like to read this one. There you go. And then a book, I did buy this very recently, I have to say. I haven't done a book haul for ages. I need to do a book haul. I bought books over 6 months I've not hauled. Anyway, this is a highly anticipated release, and I pre-ordered this, which I very rarely do. This is The Lost Spells by Robert Macfarlane, and it's illustrated by Jackie Morris, who did, this beautiful book, The Lost Words. So this is a sequel to that, and thankfully it is much smaller because this is the biggest book that I own, and I bought this on holiday in Wales, and I had to carry it around with me for quite a long time, but I was quite happy with that, to be honest. I was just hugging it to my chest all the time. Wait, get in the oh, sorry. Okay, but this is a similar thing where it's poems about nature, about plants and animals, and it's beautifully illustrated. And again, I've tried not to look too much, like with if you've watched my other TBR video, the non-fiction November one, I got the new Good Stories of Rebel Girls book, and I've tried to not flick through that because I just want to discover it, but it has a little bookmark, and it's just beautiful. The end papers are beautiful, look at that. And wait, I've got to show you this. If you take off the dust jacket, I don't know how you'll be able to see this, but it has this embossed butterfly or moth wings. I don't know, can you see that? I don't know. It's dark, so you probably can't, but I'm very, very excited to read this because The Lost Words is definitely one of my favourite books of last year, which is another video I haven't filmed, oh my goodness. I'm going to do that, I know it's basically November. I know we're almost on the best books of 2020, and I haven't done the ones from last year, but I don't care. I want to do it. Yeah, deal with it. Sorry. Anyway, this is a book that I'm going to buddy read with a Bookstagram friend, which is very exciting. This is Body of Light by Sarah Moss, which is also a birthday book. I'm really trying to read birthday books this month. So, this is Victorian historical fiction. Yes! I'm so excited. It's about two sisters. What are their names? Ali and May Moberly. I love that. May Moberly. That's a lovely character name. And they live in Manchester, which immediately attracted me because there's not enough Victorian fiction, historical fiction, I think, that set in Manchester, because the north was really interesting. It was the industrial heart of the country, and they have, I think, quite an artistic father who collects art, I think, and then their mother is very oppressive and evangelical and strictly religious, basically, and I can never remember which way around it is. So May poses for the artist in her father's circle, and then Ali wants to become a doctor, I think, or yes, she wants to go into the medical profession, and I think she goes to London to try and escape the oppression in her family. But that again will be interesting, the like north and south cities, and I love Sarah Moss, but I haven't read historical fiction by her. I've only read The Tidal Zone and Go to Orchard, both set in modern day. So really excited, because I know there's a series of these that are historical, but I don't think you have to read them in a certain order. I think they're kind of standalone. So I want to read this, and I'm really, really excited. So then, different tack, for me, is poetry. So this is Autumn Journal by Louis MacNeice, which I didn't realise is just a long poem in lots of parts, but it's him writing, it's written between August and December 1938, there you go. And it's about like him being a writer, but also about the tensions in like the coming war, I think, and the signs that are there, and that world like just pre-World War II, and I think that'll be really interesting. But I've heard extracts of this read out, and I just love it, and it's the perfect time. I mean, look at this gorgeous cover. The colour of that is just the most autumnal thing ever, and I have to read it in November. I really have to, and I think because it's in parts, it's something I will read gradually just to really soak in, and I'm very excited to read that. And then last but not least, we have another historical fiction book. This is The Butcher's Hook by Janet Ellis. I love this cover. I love the end papers. I like that as well. And this is a book that is the last one on my 5-star predictions that I haven't read. I've read the other 4 quite close together, and I still haven't read this one. And I want to do a new 5-star prediction video. I can't do that till I read this one, so I'm gonna really try. I did start it ages ago, but I wasn't really feeling it at the time. It wasn't bad, I just wasn't in the mood for it. And I don't want to make myself not like it because I read it at the wrong time. And it is a love story, a forbidden love story between a butcher and, I can't remember her name, but a lady and Jacob. There you go. And it's set in 1763. So Georgian period, never read that, always about Victorians, so always interested in 18th century. And that's what I'm going to say about that. I know it's a bit grisly. Again, I think like everyone at BookTube says, this is the best time to read historical fiction. It's the best time of year if you're reading. Every time autumn comes, I'm like, oh, maybe this is my favourite season, but then spring comes again and I think, oh no, I think spring is my favourite season. But anyway, I'm really rambling now. So, there we go. There's a nice little pile of books I want to read, as well as all the books I want to read for Non-Fiction November. But, you know, I'll do what I can do, and I'm having a better reading time at the moment. I was in a bit of a slump. October's perked me up, so that's nice. So I'm hoping I can get to some of these in between, you know, actually hopefully do some flipping PhD work. So we will see. Let me know if you've read any of these, if I should prioritise anything. Have any of you read The Lost Spells yet? I am just sure, I'm absolutely certain I'm going to read that one. Again, certain that's going to be a 5-star read. I'm so excited. Anyway, I will see you soon for Bookish Shenanigans. Bye!